Clash Royale.
Here in just a second. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We have one last game, one final game for tonight. Stats versus Classic to find out who will be the Protoss Hope that moves on to the next round in game number 5.
Here we are on everybody's favorite map, Dusk Towers. And up in the top right, in the red, coming back in the series, tying it up 2-2. It is Stats.
Not my favorite map, man.
Well, it's the player's favorite map. We saw it so many times.
I was going to say,
Challenger.
It's actually just always picked. And here down in the not quite lower left-hand corner is the SKT player in the blue. It's Classic.
Early scout here from Stats.
Yeah, I thought that was like to block the hatch rate. I'm like, no, dude, LOL, it's not Zerg, it's Protoss.
It might have been a gas stealing probe, but okay. Classic, he walled it off, so the probe was not able to get in.
All right, now we get to watch a great metaphor for life. You know, if you guys are the little probe and you're going up against a big pylon in your life, you just gotta keep auto-attacking it away.
Yes.
Little by little, and soon enough, you'll take out those shields, which is actually entirely inconsequential.
Classic going to give it a shot as well. Although, that probe is getting some work done. May even force a Zealot here.
Oh, where's your units, man?
I wonder if he would be able to kill the pylon before a Stalker or an Adept was made in time to kill it.
I think he actually will.
I think it would have been pretty close. Cancels the Zealot, so Classic is going to take that chance. I think he knows, probably, that there is going to be enough time.
This is the little probe that could, man. He's getting a lot done. Expansion's coming in the back.
Let's get a shot of that pylon. You're missing the action observer.
No, I was going to say, this is where the real action is. That pylon's down to half health, and there's no units on the
Mothership
schedule.
Core is going to come out here, but, it's slow. Oh, that was pretty close.
Yeah.
It would have died.
Scumbag Mothership Core. I mean, he has to kill the pylon eventually anyway, so if it goes down, it's not the worst thing in the world, but
yeah.
Nice to see.
Mom comes in and says, hey, Jimmy, stop that.
Is Mom the Mothership Core?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Mothership Core, so it's Mom.
Okay. It's like if your mom had a core that then upgraded into like the Super Mom.
Yes.
Okay, ship's passing in the night
Maybe
once
in the
again.
future. Our moms will all be Mothership Cores. A man can
Jimmy,
dream.
if you don't do your homework, I'm going to overcharge this pylon, right?
Sneaky, sneaky probe.
Okay, where are we going here? Looking for potential proxies.
Double sneaky probe.
This is where he just like skips his third and fourth base and makes another proxy, or like a random hidden nexus. Probably not, but we'll see. Here we go, the scouting Mothership Cores. It'll be just that, and we'll be forced to recall out here.
Needs to go for that recall. On the other hand, Classic committing to probe kills instead of the scouting is going to get 2.
Oh, wow. He's going to actually kill off a few probes. One more hit.
Wow.
There we go.
What?
3 probes. The OP Mothership Core harass, man.
She was angry about that probe from earlier. She needed to do some damage of her own.
Like, what did you say to my kid? Kill off all your probes. Well, I got 3 of them, which is 3 more than I guess he would have expected. So
3 more than Stats. So he is ahead.
That is very true. So yeah, going to be ahead by strangely only 2 workers. Now only 1. Now only 2. Okay. That was like the least exciting play-by-play ever. But now we actually have IRL Phoenixes as opposed to hallucinated ones. Somebody out there is like, this isn't real life, this is a StarCraft game. And I'm like, it's my real life.
This is our real life, this is what we do.
This is very true. So Classic Scouting's got all that vision, knows pretty much what to expect. And once again, it's going to be double robo, or one single robo for both players, thereby making it 2 robos.
Thereby making it a double robo.
Ah, yes.
There you go.
Eventually. That's the thing. That's what I meant. So with these robotics facilities coming out, you know, Immortal's very standard, but I want to see more of those disruptors.
Core.
That's actually going to go down. Oh my god, the last hit!
That was nice. The fadeaway move by the Phoenix does not go down, kills the Mothership Core.
It's like, do you have Phoenix range upgraded? No. What is the name of Phoenix range? It is. I used to know this, but now all I can think of is Kydarian Amulet, which isn't even in the game anymore.
Is that Anion Pulse Crystals?
Anion Pulse Crystals. There we go.
Yeah. I'm on a trivia show. You're like, what is the name of the armor upgrade
is there actually
for buildings?
A StarCraft
it's
Trivial
a building
Pursuit?
armor. I think there was. I think someone was running one on Twitch at some point. I know Penguin was in there. He was doing some of that.
Oh god, I am not a Trivial Pursuit guy.
What about for StarCraft?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I know that Roach Speed is Glial Reconstitution.
Glial. I love that word.
Glial. Isn't
Glial.
it Glial? Glial? I don't know. Spelling, if I had to spell that in a spelling bee, I would not be moving on.
Yeah, I actually don't know how to spell it either.
I think it's
Glial?
Glial.
Glial?
Glial.
Is it like G-I-A?
I think it's like
okay.
G-L-I-A-L.
Don't do math on cast. Don't do spelling on cast. We learned something today.
It's such a fun word to say, Glial.
Yeah.
Much like Anion Pulse Crystals.
Anion, yes.
Either way, all right. Well, that has actually nothing to do with this. My foot is tangled in wires underneath the desk.
Uh-oh.
So if the
you handle that.
If the stream drops, then it's
Well,
my
I point
fault.
out that Stats is doing a very interesting build. He's going double upgrades this time. He's like, the single upgrade didn't work for me in the past, so let me make 2 at the same time and get charged.
Yeah, so he's getting
Charge.
Yeah.
I mean, not a great card in Hearthstone, but sometimes it can work.
It is if you're.
PvPs.
It is, yeah. Well, situational, yeah. Zealots, of course, the pirates of StarCraft,
Yes.
because they love to charge.
Yes, they do.
They certainly do, and now they will, or at least they will when that upgrade finishes. Kind of an interesting way of going about things here, and you sort of have to think about the rock, paper, scissors. So primarily now players are going for that mass adept style, or at least that's what we've seen primarily in this series so far. In Game 5, both players have had the opportunity to figure each other out. Game 4 was really the culmination of that we saw from all those disruptors. So this time around, we're going to see some Zealot on Zealot action, as now legs are started for Classic as well.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. We saw tons of hallucination scouts by Classic trying to get in there and see what was going on, so maybe this is a response to that, but you can't tell that that's charge that's upgrading, you know? He saw the 2 forges and added a forge of his own this time for the first time in this series. Maybe he just doesn't want to get too far behind in the upgrades, so he just goes for 1 instead. And very interesting that both players decide here to go for charge, as you were saying. I mean, as I was saying, you can't tell that it's charged that's upgrading. Maybe he thinks it's...
Well, it's not like there's any like Zealots pooled around anywhere. At least I don't think so. Okay, here come the Warp In, and he will scout the big Zealot Warp In, so I think that's going to start to clue him in, because he is actually building charge of his own, or researching it.
Yeah, kind of interesting still that he's making double Immortals here. Classic. I mean, Immortal's not going to be the best unit against charged Zealots, that's for sure. Archon's going to be fantastic, and Adepts not so bad themselves.
That is very true. We will not see any Adepts this game. Well, any mass Adept strategy like we have been seeing. There's another Forge starting in the back for Classic, and Phoenix on hallucinated Phoenix battle. That does not work out. Still super oversaturated in his main. Needs to transfer those to his 4th, and he is taking the forward 4th instead of the high ground up to the north. So
yeah, both these players going for that, interestingly enough. And now the Zealot Warp-ins begin between these 2 players, but look at how many Archons Classic has. It's 5-3 right now in Classic's favor. So I feel like at the end of it all, he's going to be in a bit of a better spot in this game. Stats does have, he's making 2 Archons right now actually, so that's going to help him catch up. Stats has more Zealots and more Stalkers, but Classic has 7 Immortals to 3. So that's really where the big difference comes out here.
All right, now just scouting in there. Shield is up, and now the retreat from Stats. Is he going to get caught in a bad spot? Both of those Immortals actually do get lifted, so he will not have those for this upcoming fight. Where are the force fields that he needs? We've got a lot of Archons and a great Concave. Nice feedbacks on the Phoenixes, but those will not actually be very effective. The Immortals actually in the back line for Classic, dealing decent damage. Lots of great work there as the Zealots and Zealots keep running in against each other. It's nothing but Immortals left here for Classic, but that might just be able to clean this force up.
And look at this, I mean, getting another warp in here with the Zealots, and now he's going to be able to charge after this army, and Classic takes a fantastic fight after all. The Immortals were fantastic against all of the Archons in the front as well, so they were laying down that damage, and, you know, Classic just having a bit of a better, you know, just place there to fight. He picked up the Immortals as well, which was very nice. Even though he's behind 2-2 to just only one +1 attack here, he was still able to take that fight, funnily enough.
Certainly is true, and now might be seeing a little bit of Zealot harassment here, as literally what was on the screen. He is going to drop them here in the back. There's already a cannon, but that'll actually die pretty quickly to Zealots, of course. Wanting to save them, discretion, the better part of Valor. Not that that actually would have been very valorous. You're just setting your Zealots to die to cannons and Stalkers and overcharges.
Yeah. And it seemed like Stats was very prepared for it. I thought his army was way out of position, but at least he has something in the main to defend. Now it's Classic's turn to test out his might, see if he can come in here and do a bit of damage. Nice drop into the 4th here. He's going to get away with everything alive.
Ideally, you want to pull more forces into the back by either dropping the main or that rear expansion. But this is actually kind of nice. A couple of Stalkers on the high ground, getting a few probe kills.
Yeah, just a little bit of harass there. It seems like Classic really wants to wait for 2-2, or rather 2-1. He's getting the +2 attack.
Oh, it's melee as well. So
hope he doesn't attack now because...
yeah, it's actually not done. So a little bit ahead of schedule here. Lots of Zealot on Zealot action, but how effective are these Archons in the back? So many Immortals here for Classic, and that might just be what does it. Classic on the verge of advancing to the round of the round of 4.
Oh, the Warp Prison goes down.
And there it is, no more Warpins off of that, but so many Immortals left over for Classic.
And that's really what's going to turn the tides here. Recalling his army to the 3rd. He's given it up. He's lost 21 probes as well. Or rather, that's Classic that lost all of his probes.
It's a Zealot Warpin that lost, or that took out all of Classic's probes. So in the back line, that's actually a lot of damage done.
He's doing a bit of damage, but that actually exacerbates shows the fact that Classic's army is just that much bigger than Stats. Because Classic lost so many probes in that fight, but he's still, ahead in army supply.
Right, it should be noted that Classic actually just has another base, so all of these probes that have been pulled off the line from Stats, he recognizes he actually just doesn't have a place to let them mine. Lots of poke damage coming in, taking out one gateway at a time, but here it goes. This is it. Stats going in. He's got all of those probes up at the front line. The Zealot's starting to damage a lot of those Archons, but Archon's so good at dealing with all of the organic in front of them, and this is just going to be a crushing victory for Classic. Everything in his favor. Classic pressing in. Stats back up against the wall, has nothing left.
One small warp-in is not going to be enough. Classic probably celebrating in that booth at this point. GG, Classic wins the best of 5 over Stats, and we'll move on to face Dark in the round of 4.
One small warp-in for Stats, one giant leap forward for Classic into the next round of the SSL.
There you go, you can see Stats very unhappy with that one. He's shown some great PvP in the past. It's part of the reason why I was predicting him to win this one. But Classic, man, he was playing so on point today. Really does deserve that victory.
Yeah, and he actually lost the first game, came back 2 more, then Stats just barely pulls it back with some sick disruptor play, which wouldn't have even been bad units to mix in, but just such a great composition, very well fought on that battle on Classic's side of the map. Got a great concave, more Immortals, and turn it around.
Even the lifts on the Immortals too, like he essentially just ate 2 of those Immortals for free. He's like, okay, let's try to fight again now that you have 2 less Immortals. So really just great composition work by Classic too. I love the fact that he just, forgoes the upgrades. He's like, no, I just want more units. Really helped him win some of those earlier games.
Yeah, and Classic's macro this series has been actually insane. He won so many of those games. Yeah. In fact, the games 2 and 3 off of just straight up better macro. So many adepts and able to bring it out, and that will mean that he will advance 3-2 over Stats, and Dark advancing 3-1 over KT. A good day.
Dark
be
and
SKT fan.
Dark, Classic, and SK Telecom are the big winners of today. The big loser of today is me, predicting the wrong person in both matchups to win.
Well, you know the biggest winner of tonight, Brendan?
Who's that?
The fans.
Aww.
You guys are the best. Thanks for coming out and tuning into a great day of StarCraft. And I think coming up we will have an interview with Classic as soon as he is all set up and ready to go to hear some of his thoughts about his best of 5.
He's going to get to sit next to Hyung Gung. Once again, I'm sure he's very happy about that. Here's our bracket. Dark and Classic do come in. For next week, we are going to have Solar versus Deer, and then Patience versus Zest.
Oh man, we get to see if Zest can keep his tournament life alive, against one of our newer players. And let's go into our